The man had always thought his father's behavior was strange. One day, while his parents were out grabbing KFC, he seized the opportunity to slip into his father's locked storage shed. He quickly cracked the combination lock and stepped inside. Tyler had only meant to figure out what secret his father was hiding, but he discovered a loose floorboard. He pried up the board and pulled out a shoebox from underneath, opening it eagerly. Inside, along with several women's magazines, was a photo of what appeared to be a victim. Just as shock washed over him, he suddenly heard noises outside. He hurriedly put everything back in the box and restored the scene to its original state. Soon after, his father returned home. Mike had planned to ask his son to help load some cargo, but couldn't find him anywhere. He immediately headed to the shed to check, only to see that the combination lock on the door seemed to have been tampered with. There were obvious signs of rotation. That night, lying in bed, Tyler couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. His suspicions about his father grew stronger. He quietly opened his laptop and searched the name from the photo, only to discover it was linked to an infamous local serial murder case. Just as he was reviewing the information, the light behind him suddenly flicked on. He slammed the laptop shut in a panic. Seeing his flustered expression, his mother mistakenly assumed he'd been looking at inappropriate content. The next day, his mother asked his father to have a talk with him. Instead, his father brought Tyler into the shed and, under the guise of giving him advice about adolescence, subtly probed to see if he'd discovered anything unusual in there. Tyler played dumb, brushing it off casually, successfully avoiding his father's suspicions. Afterward, he went to the home of a classmate who was into researching criminal cases. Together, they analyzed the serial killer's methods. They discovered that the killer used the same knot-tying technique to bind every victim, and this distinctive rope work matched perfectly with Tyler's father's professional skills. To dig deeper, Tyler made up an excuse about working a part-time job and spent every day at Mary's house analyzing the case. What he didn't realize was that his father, already suspicious, was watching his movements from a distance. One day, his father confronted him point-blank, asking why he'd lied about working. Tyler panicked and quickly made up a story about having a girlfriend. Unexpectedly, his father suggested he bring his girlfriend home for KFC. To avoid being caught in his lie, Tyler had to explain the situation to Mary and ask her to pretend to be his girlfriend for a family dinner. After meeting his charming and talkative father, Mary actually thought there was no way he could be the cold-blooded killer. To convince her otherwise, Tyler took her into his father's shed. But when they lifted the floorboard, the items that had been hidden there were gone. Mary reached into the space and pulled out an architectural blueprint. It showed a structure resembling a secret room, with notes about different binding methods. They photographed the blueprint for evidence. After Mary left, Tyler examined the design again and realized the layout looked eerily similar to his own house. He locked the shed and went outside to find the vent shown in the blueprint. After removing the cover, he crawled inside. The space was empty except for a board leaning against the wall, looking oddly out of place. As Tyler approached and moved the board aside, a putrid stench hit him full force. Fighting the foul smell, Tyler crawled into the hidden space and turned on the light to discover a decomposing animal carcass on the floor. This cramped room, no more than 100 square feet, was equipped with a toilet and shower. A nearby cardboard box was filled with magazines about bondage and another box containing identification documents of multiple women. As Tyler looked through them, he realized with horror that every name appeared on the victim list from the serial murder case. Could his father really